Hello, everyone. I wanted to see what happened yesterday because I missed it. I haven't seen it because I had work and then friends and life and stuff. So I decided I wanted to do, a video about it. But then I said, how about we just watch it together and we all can share our thoughts, feelings, opinions about the I2U2. I don't even know how to say it properly. For those of you who haven't seen, first of all, for those of you who are not in this live stream right now and watching it some other time, I do apologize. I am usually going to be more focused on the chat and the people who are talking to me right now, and less about the comments in the comment section here. However, feel free to write your thoughts and feelings and everything. I want to know what you guys thinking about stuff. If you haven't seen my face before, hi, I am that one Israeli girl, and I make some a lot of videos and stuff to teach you guys about my culture and to learn about your culture, either through reactions. That most of my reactions are honestly like someone made fun of me, that I'm just like talking a little bit about what we're watching, and then a lot about the relationship between our countries, which yeah, you pretty much understood the whole point of this channel. Yeah, so welcome everyone. Nice to see some familiar faces. Hey everyone. So for those of you who know me, who know this channel, who know what I am all about, I'm giving you the mission of reminding me to drink water, because you guys know that I'm getting carried away and then I just like forget to drink and stuff. So I'm gonna be waiting for your comments to remind me that. Um, Sure, great. So Kumar, you and some other people will be in charge of this. Hey there. So we're going to start. I'm going to try to do a share screen. Let's see if I'll just let's close all the unnecessary things. So I want to do the share screen for I want to show also, we will see it from the Israeli camera. Let's see how to call the name of the channel. Oh, the Israeli Prime Minister channel. Yeah, let's see if you guys can also see this. Great. So this is the channel, and we will together try to see it. Let me know if you guys can hear it, because I really want everyone to be able to hear and watch it together, because this is the first time I will be watching it. So let's start. Write me in the comments if you guys know, if you guys can hear it. Let's start. Have you heard so far? Let me know in the comments if clear, it's all good. Great. Awesome. Let's start. Oh, you cannot hear. Great. So, how do I do? Let's try to see if I can also um, um let's see if I can fix it. Hold on. If any of you know how to use um okay, share, and let's see if I can also share audio. Hmm. How about I'll try to see. Okay, it's gonna take a while until I'm gonna realize how things work. Uh, um, anyway, if anyone, how about let's do something like this. In the meantime, I'm going to let you guys hop on the stream and have a little conversation and stuff until I'm gonna be able to figure it out. If I'm not gonna be able to figure it out, I'll just try to do a reaction to it later. Um, Feel free to hop on the link and I will try to, while I'm trying to figure this out, feel free to join and have a conversation and talk to us about things. Let's see. If you have any questions, by the way, still in the comments or something, feel free to ask while I am trying to act like an audio engineer, even though, as most of you know, I am a terrible audio engineer and stuff. Let's see. Shalom. Oh, hi, everyone. I got a notification. It ends now in Jerusalem with Biden in Israel. Here's the thing. Biden, he when he came, it was just like he stopped a lot of like the traffic and stuff. It was a little bit problematic. He's still here, by the way. He's still making a lot of traffic jams and stuff. So I'm not really sure how to answer that because right now a lot of people are not leaving the houses because we're just like waiting to be able to we're just waiting to be able to drive around and walk around without any problems. Um, but it's still okay. It's not giving me audio. Let's see why. Mm, no, it doesn't have a button. It's not working like this. Let's see, maybe like this. Nope, that just hide my face. Okay, here's the thing about the Coco Boy and Coco Girl, because I see a lot of people commenting. We're just gonna, you know what? We're just do this Q&A, and then we're gonna try to work it out. The thing about the Coco Boy and Coco Girl, I'm always telling you guys to go watch their video and watch their content. However, there are independent YouTubers, so I will not react to them because I'm not here to steal their audience. I'm always telling you guys go watch their videos, but at the same time I will not react to something because they are not like they I want people to go watch the original channel, like the original videos in the original channel. Those guys are doing amazing work. Both of them, they're super sweet. I'm like, I love watching their videos, but at the same time I will tell you guys to go watch it. I will not do it. I will not react to something because it belongs to them. Like, with all due respect, it's belong to them. I'm not going to steal some YouTubers' content and stuff. Like, absolutely no. Um, yeah. What chance do you see in perspective of Middle East towards Israel after Abraham? Of course. Okay, you know what? Let's just like remove it because I'm not sure it's going to work, and I will just do a reaction maybe after that. Um, right now, most of the people realize that right now most of the people realize in the Middle Eastern countries that to blame Israel for everything is not actually going to work, and it's just like a waste of time, and they can grow and evolve with us together, and it's so much easier to have a conversation instead of just like yelling and spread hate. So I am really glad other countries are being able to actually see it, because as people will always be there will always be some countries that will hate Israel and stuff, but I'm so glad to see um, governments that are realizing that by hating Israel, they're actually hurting their citizens, because what's the point of spreading all the hate and all this stuff if you can actually just spread love and help your citizens? I'm not talking about hippie stuff. I'm actually talking about spreading awareness and spreading and making sure your citizens will have, let's say, one thing that Modi ji came to visit Israel and he was really all about drinkable. How can we make water from the ocean and from the sea a drinkable water? This is why I think the Abraham thing will be good for them more than it will be good for us, because we have so much to give. And yes, those countries have also a lot of things we can learn and evolve from, but at the same time, the second that we feel like we're not going to be under attack 24/7, this is when like we can just like share our ideas and thoughts and just like create something better for all the civilians, for all the people who are not working in the government. The geopolitical issues are not really what they are all about, like, because most of the people don't really care. You don't wake up in the morning and just like immediately go to the government. You wake up in the morning and, I don't know, maybe brush your teeth. Please do that. Have a eating something, going to work, talking with friends, things we're doing on a regular basis who are not part of the, geopolitical field. So this is why I'm saying the second that it is easier, the second that we are having a relationship and communication in a different field, and the second, this is also why I said that it's so important. This is why Bharat and Israel has this different relationship, because we didn't start it from a geopolitical point of view. Our citizens were friends before our governments became friends. This is one of the most important things to remember. Now, if there is some person who know about, let's see, how do I do the share screen and at the same time making the audio, feel free to help. Um, do you know about the Haifa port by? Yeah, okay, I am aware. There is a company from Bharat that is working right now in Haifa port. Haifa is a city in Israel, and yes, we're like, I hope they will show you how much we are welcoming. Um, how do you see it? Let's just like put the comments here. How do you see it? Not even mention Iraq, despite three members being anti-Iraq and India being neutral to Iraq. Here's the thing again: stop focusing on the governments and the countries you being told to hate. Like, stop. You have right now some people. You need to talk to the people who are there. It's just like, what if, like, I don't know, I think, what if the prime minister, what if Joe Biden was talking to my prime minister, and at the same time people will say, but how, what do you think about, like, why is Modi ji wasn't in there, like why Modi ji is not here in Israel right now while Biden is here? Who cares? Right now you need to focus on the people who are here. Now Modi ji said he can do he can do this meeting, this important meeting, via, they were not at the same place, which is great. Technology is amazing thing. So why to be focusing on the negative sides? Why to be talking about Iran if we were talking about how we can create something better together, all of us? um is there any option regarding the share screen with audio? I am looking, I'm trying, I'm really trying, but at the same time, let's see, maybe video files. I mean, I can download it and maybe it's going to be um let's see if I can do it with audio. Um it's like not giving me an option to share it. See, this is why I'm trying to do stuff. At the same time, if you have any questions or something, like I said, yes, Haifa Port to Indian company, we've discussed about this. Um, let's see. Let's try to see if this will work. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Let me
welcome the President of the United States of America, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., and joining us virtually, the Honorable President of the United Arab Emirates, His Royal Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan.
Did you heard that? Let me know if they got just right. Yes, I heard it, or no, I haven't didn't heard. Because I really tried, and I do not understand. Um, computers. Just write in the comments if you heard it. Yes? Hey, I made it! Ta-da! Great. Okay, let's just start. Took a while. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay, it's the highest we can go. Um, so we're just starting right now.
The Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi. We will begin today's I2U2 Summit with opening statements from each of the distinguished leaders, followed by closed dialogue. It is my honor to invite the Honorable President of the United Arab Emirates, His Royal Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to deliver his opening statement.
I'm sorry. I'm a girl, so I have to focus it. First of all, the setting is kind of weird. Like there was this one tree. I absolutely love trees. Um, but I don't really understand the whole point of showing this entire desk and stuff. I know they're talking about things that are so important, but at the same time, you know me and you know I will always talk stupid things. So yeah, it's also be a part of it. So I didn't like his settings. Sorry.
We can't hear him.
We seem to be
Ah,
having a technical difficulty.
they're having technical difficulty just like I had. See, I already feel part of this.
Please bear with us.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Your Excellency, President of the United States of America, Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
Oh, it's not in sync. It's gonna be so difficult.
Greetings to you all. Let me begin by thanking the State of Israel for hosting this first I2U2 Leaders Summit. I also thank the leadership of the United States and India for their participation in the summit and their continued support for the success of the group's work at all levels. This summit is a clear evidence of the great opportunity for cooperation between countries and economies with shared values and goals.
Listen, with all due respect to those people, one of the things that I absolutely hate, and one of the things, it's just like when people are starting with saying the credits and the list of the people and how they're honored to be in a place. I want to see a people who are just like saying, "Hi everyone, so I came to talk about blah blah blah." Like when you talk and thank all the people who are there, it's just like a little bit exhausting. However, at the same time, this is such an important meeting with so many important people. So I do understand why like it is necessary for everyone to acknowledge everyone, because um people who are in high positions, no disrespect to anyone, but people who are in higher positions, if their name is not being mentioned, they're getting so offensive. And like, governments can rise and fall based on a person not remembering to thank another person on a stage. So I do understand why this is important. At the same time, it's just like, get on with it. I'm sorry.
Centered around peace, tolerance, and prosperity. Our country, our country do not share geographical borders, yet they converge in their pursuit for peace and their joint action to achieve well-being and prosperity. We in the UAE believe that economy offers the best way to achieve peace, security, and progress, especially when governments and people have the will and courage to build partnership and face challenges. We also believe that only partnership can overcome today's conflict and overlapping challenges, the most important of which are food and energy security, climate change, and healthcare. This is embodied.
Okay, one of the things I absolutely love about what he just doing, he's talking in his own native language, and he is proud of his language. I mean, it is important for everyone else to understand what he is saying, but at the same time, I am kind of proud of him for saying like, no, with all due respect, I will speak in my native language, and if you want to, like, if you want to translate, do it. But at the same time, it's my language, and I'm keeping it.
In the first project of our quartet, which have focused on food, climate smart agriculture, solar and wind energy, and energy storage. As I extend my appreciation to the leader of the group and the technical team of the four countries for what has been achieved. I would like to emphasize the importance of giving priority during the coming period to research and development, healthcare, and space. I also call for building on the strength that each of our countries possesses in these sectors. Dear leader, I look forward today to a fruitful summit and subsequently to work with you within the I2U2 group at the bilateral level and within other international platforms, the most, the most important of which are the G20 summit and the conference of the party that the UAE will host at its 28th session next year. I also hope that our quartet will be a model for those who desire peace and prosperity and will provide evidence for the great opportunities lost through conflicts and squandered by blind extremism at the expense of people eager to live a good life. Thank you.
Thank you, President. It is my honor to invite the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, His Excellency Yair Lapid, to deliver his opening statement.
So, just for the people who doesn't know, right now Naftali Bennett has stopped being the prime minister, and now Yair Lapid is replacing him. And we're gonna go to have an elections again very soon. I made a live stream about it, explaining about the whole situation. If you want to learn more, just like search previous videos.
Thank you. The Honorable President of the United States, Joe Biden, the Honorable President of the United Arab Emirates, His Royal Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Friends, this group was born several months ago during a dinner at the home of the UAE ambassador in Washington, D.C. We sat around the table and spoke about how, after we get control over the pandemic, anyone trying to go back to how things used to be would fail. Anyone who understands that we live in a new world with new challenges would succeed and flourish. That dinner was on a Wednesday evening. A few days later, in what might be a world record in the field of international relations, my friend Dr. Jaishankar, the Minister of External Affairs of India, was already in my office in Jerusalem. Tony Blinken and Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed were on Zoom, and we held the first summit of this Quad, the I2U2 Forum. Our starting point was that in the new world we live in, we need to improve our ability to cooperate quickly, to make the most of our comparative advantages, to put the right advanced tech together with the right resources.
Okay, it's gonna sound really crazy. I'm kind of sad, like happy that the pandemic happened, because it's finally maybe make some people realize that, with all due respect to, you know, my country is bigger, my country is awesomer and stuff like this, they realize that they have to work together. And if those countries, if our countries are not going to work together, we're all going to be dead. And then what is going to help us? Which country was great? No one will remember your country because everyone will be dead. The pandemic just helped us remember the core thing, that is, at the end of the day, we're all people and we're all here trying to survive. So this is beautiful to see how, from this such a terrible, crazy time, someone finally realized that he should stop thinking in words like I am a greater, my country is better, and start seeing how we can all of the countries, all of the people from such a different way of life can work together to achieve better things for everyone. This is absolutely beautiful. I am kind of glad it happened. Well, I really hope, you know, the pandemic things didn't happen. We still kind of have it. But yeah, one good thing that came out of it. Thank God.
We need to think in new terms when it comes to energy, food security, and water tech, defense, and trade. Each one of our countries brings very different challenges and very different qualities to the table. But that is what makes our potential even greater. In the 21st century, challenges are local, but solutions are global. Let me give you two quick examples. The entire world is dealing with issues relating to food security. The combination of the climate crisis, the war in Europe, and the COVID-19 pandemic has created global food insecurity. Food security is going to be the main issue in Africa and Latin America and East Asia, and of course in the Middle East. An initiative like the Food Corridor between India and the UAE, which was put together by this group, is a clear example of a creative solution to a problem we are all facing. The fast transportation of food and preservation technologies, the ability to connect relative advantages together, this is the solution to the problem. Another example is the solar and wind energy storage project. In this case as well, the idea is to make the most of technological capabilities, some of which are still being developed, in order to deal with an energy market that is facing a serious crisis. Since the war in Ukraine broke out, each one of us has had to deal with the crisis on the local level. Its effects on cost of living has been immediate and dramatic, and of course, this has political implications. Real solutions will only come through cooperation between countries that know how to put together brainpower, knowledge, and resources on the same table.
Thank you. Thank you so much for I'm sorry for cursing. Thank you so much for finally realizing that you need to work together. All the people who are, you know how much I hate governments, right? So when finally those people realized that they can work together instead of fighting with each other, like, I cannot, it's just like I hear hallelujah like playing in my head. It is crazy that it had to be in such a dark time for people to finally realize that all they need to do is to work together. It is actually, it's something that in every kindergarten in this entire world, every child is learning to work together with people. Every child, I don't care where did you grow in the world, you learn that you need to be part of a community, part of something. And apparently, where we're getting older, we keep forgetting things, and people are more focusing on how they can succeed, and it also doesn't matter if other people will fail. So I am so happy that right now, for people who run big, important, like, countries, I'm not saying big like territory big, but big like has a big influence on the world, finally realized that all they need to do, like one of the major things they need to do, is to have a conversation and to work together. So we should all like clap our hands to the kindergarten school teacher that taught them this, and thank God they finally realized it. And thank you for reminding me them to drink water. Yeah, let's continue.
I would like to emphasize, this is not a philanthropic group. We want to change the world for the better, but we are also creating relative advantages for our countries, for our businesses, for our science sector. In both projects that I mentioned, lists of local companies and relevant technologies have already been shared. Our goal is for the private market to be a full partner in this initiative. This group is interesting because we are 4 very different countries, but when we started talking, it became clear we all want the same things. For our children to be warm in the winter, for them to have food on the table and clean water from the tap, for them to enjoy a quality education and advanced healthcare and transportation infrastructure. We also want to reduce the damage our generation inflicted on climate and the environment. These are big challenges. No single country, no matter how big or how rich, can deal with them alone. On the other hand, I also believe, and this is part of the idea behind this meeting, that groups that are too big may end up being ineffective. This Quad is, in my view, the correct model. Our advantages are clear to one another, and so are all our needs. We can create enough flexibility and a mechanism that can make fast and smart decisions. At the same time, we can always find ways to create ad hoc connections with countries that want to advance projects with us. The projects I mentioned are just the beginning. The list is ongoing. Our role as leaders is to push our teams as hard as possible to research the fields in which real change can be made, to examine new projects, to bring them to the table, to connect them with the scientific and business communities. The world is watching this meeting. This shows that something special is happening here, a new kind of economic and regional cooperation that is more flexible and better adapted to the problems we face. The diplomatic and economic results that will emerge from this meeting will highlight our commitment to a new kind of cooperation. In this partnership, each country and each partner brings their own strength so that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. It is my honor to invite the President of the United States of America, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., to deliver his opening statement.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Lapid, for convening this group for the first time at a leaders level. Prime Minister Modi, President Ben Zayed, thank you for the work you're doing, deepening the linkage and the muscle cooperation between critical partners in the Middle East and Indo-Pacific to deliver important, very important projects for all our peoples. The simple truth is this: the challenges we face in the world, our world in the 21st century, demand that we find new ways of working together. Whether it's accelerating climate crisis, dealing with the accelerating climate crisis, which is being felt here in the Middle East every single day, or growing food insecurity and volatile energy markets, made worse by Russia's brutal and unprovoked attack against its neighbor Ukraine.
Okay, dude, stop. Like, with all due respect to the USA, so many, like, when I look behind him at the flags, I can see why some flags are there, but some flag are like the USA flag looks like different because USA are they're not like our relationship, our a lot of things that we share, like we share a lot of things in our history, in our culture. We like, look, we even have a symbol that is also familiar in Hinduism. USA doesn't have a rich past and stuff. So this is why it is kind of difficult for me. I understand they're one of the most important countries and big countries in the world, but at the same time, to look at them there, I just like think like if Biden, when Biden is here, I'm assuming they're not showing him, our the actual way of life. Like he doesn't eat our food. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to be like super disrespectful. I don't know if he eat food with spices or not. But at the same time, I feel like the people of Bharat and the people of the Emirates and the people of Israel, we're all kind of like, we're all have this kind of a Middle Eastern vibe type of thing. I know in Bharat is not in the Middle East, but still we have this specific special vibe, and they're in a different mindset. So it is kind of weird for me to see him there, although I understand why he is there. But it's just like, I'm just like, dude, just like continue to say exactly what there is to say.
Or, as we've all experienced firsthand over the past 2 years, tackling the health security needs and economic fallout from the global pandemic. All these issues require cooperation and coordination, and none of us can mount a comprehensive response on our own. And the more we work together, the more we'll see the benefits multiply and grow to advance our shared commitment to peace, stability, and growing prosperity. They all go together. When our foreign ministers first got together in this format last October, I think we all immediately understood the potential to advance a common agenda.
It's like a group of friends that always trying to remind you we're a part of it and we all decided to do this together. And like, thank you. It is important, but at the same time, can you get on with it already? Because like right now they're just like saying there are things that are important and we should talk about things. And like, yes, we should all talk about things. How about you start talking about them in a way? This is why it's always like annoying to me, because Israelis like talking about things but then going and creating solutions. We say, oh, we don't have drinkable water. What do? We create drinkable water. We don't sit in suit and ties and say, yes, there is a problem, we need to do something about it. Thank you for listening. Like, stop. Like, I understand this is the beginning and everyone wants his time, but at the same time, start talking about the things that you say that you want to talk about. Don't sit and say we want to discuss about those things.
It's about demonstrating the importance of practical impacts of building Israel's normalization and economic integration, using these trusted partnerships to crack down on common challenges. Our nations represent some of the most innovative, technologically capable, and entrepreneurial people on the planet. At every step, we should be asking, what can we achieve together? The first two projects that we're tackling together on food security and clean energy are designed to take on two of the most urgent crises affecting people around the globe: food insecurity. The UAE's investment to develop integrated agricultural parks across India, with the support of the American and Israeli private sector experts, has the potential to sustainably increase India's food yields in the region threefold in just 5 years. India is a major food producer in the world. Think of the beneficial impacts this will have on India's farmers and the people suffering from hunger and malnutrition in the region. Similarly, the United States has already funded a feasibility study for a hybrid renewable energy project in India, which will develop 300 megawatts of wind and solar capacity, as well as battery storage. With our four nations working together to unite our expertise and drive private sector investment, this is going to help India reach its climate and energy goal of 500 megawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030. Our challenge together is to deliver real results that people can feel in their everyday lives. Another key area where we can make big differences is in infrastructure. There's an enormous need around the world for infrastructure done the right way, transparently, in partnership with the communities that are being served. Right now, there's a vacuum. So over the next few years, this group is going to work to identify new infrastructure projects that we can invest in and develop together. This meeting is just the first step, a chance to demonstrate the value of this new format for cooperation between our four nations. And I'm looking forward to staying closely connected and engaged at the leaders level as we build out the scope of the I2U2 and work together for everyone. We can do a great deal if we stick together. So I want to thank you all for agreeing to proceed this way. I think we can do some great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my honor to invite the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi, to deliver his opening statement.
It's kind of weird for me that they're not saying like Modi ji, but I'll let that one slide because maybe it's just like me trying to learn your culture and failing at it.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister Lapid, Your Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Your Excellency, President Biden. First of all, my warmest congratulations.
I don't understand. Narendra Modi ji speaks English very well. I really don't understand why someone need to say what he said, but okay.
And best wishes to Prime Minister Lapid on assuming the office of Prime Minister. My heartfelt thanks to him as well for hosting today's summit. This truly is a meeting of strategic partners. We are all good friends as well, and there are a lot of similarities in our approach and in our interests. Excellencies, Your Highness, the I2U2 has established a positive agenda From its very first summit today, we have identified joint projects in several areas and have also made a roadmap to take them forward. Under the I2U2 framework, we have agreed to increase joint investment in 6 important areas: water, energy, transport, space, health, and food security. It is clear that both the vision and agenda of I2U2 are progressive and practical. We can give an impetus to our agenda by mobilizing the mutual strengths of our countries, that is capital, expertise, and markets, and we can make an important contribution in this way to the global economy. In the midst of increasing global uncertainties, our cooperative framework is also a good model for practical cooperation. I am sure that with the I2U2, we will make an important contribution at a global level in the areas of energy security, food security, and economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you to the distinguished leaders. We will now continue to the closed dialogue between the leaders. The live broadcast will end here. Thank you to the press. Please kindly make your way out.
I'm confused. What? That's like the whole point? Like common, what? Is that it? I'm pretty sure it's not it. Let's see, maybe on the view, you guys also maybe have this, let's see if I can find a little bit more explanation about what was happening there. Well, now it looks like this is what they're discussing about. Great. So now it was like in closed doors. So I am a little bit confused of like the point. Like the entire point was just like, we will talk about things, we will talk about this and this and that. No, I want to see like it will also affect me. And I want to see what you guys are talking about, because eventually at the end of the day, this will affect me. So I don't understand why something like this needs to be in closed doors. Because it's not like you're revealing any secrets. And if you are, like, why do you have secrets of how to make drinkable water or food in the first place? Thank you for the people in the comments who explained to me that Modi ji is talking in Hindi and trying to promote Hindi. I am 100% support this. I wish Yair Lapid will, our current prime minister, will speak in our native language. Hebrew is one of the agent language that we still talking for centuries until today. So yeah, it's also a really good way to promote ourselves. Yeah, so it was really interesting. First of all, it was really interesting the fact that those guys actually met. I didn't like the fact that it was super important for all of them to act like they're best buddies and like, yeah, we talked about this before and now we're making it like a big deal and now we're sitting in suits, but we used to talk about it over dinner. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So like you're saying that a long time ago, you could have started this relationship, but you just waited for what? For the right moment, for the right rating to come? Like, what is going on? I really hope this will actually be something that will help and not something that is just, like, okay, yeah, we met, all of us talked to each other and look at us. Like, I really hope it will be something a little bit more meaningful, and then we will get the chance to see things actually in like getting progress, because it is important. If you have any opinion, feel free to, and if you want to come hop in the box and just like talk about it, feel free to do so. If not, it's also good. I really I am a little bit confused about why like what was the point of taking the time to create this. But I am happy that it is finally something that they decided to do, and I am happy that it's just like something that they took the time to create, and to actually, like, I'm really glad that they finally realized that working together, it's going to bring them far, and they will actually achieve things instead of just like not, not doing things, and just like everyone focused in their own um country. Because at the end of the day, we need to communicate with other countries around us. And at the end of the day, we as civilians have the power to communicate like this. Like, you see me, I'm sitting in my home in Jerusalem, Israel. You're sitting wherever you are. But at the same time, we are able to have a conversation and to communicate. And this is why it is, I think, one of the main things that brought them to do this I2U2 things, because they realized that, with all due respect to them, world leaders and stuff like this, the civilians are communicating with each other, and this is why they have to work together. Because if we as civilians are communicating with each other all the time, like, there's absolutely no reason, and we will not, you know, trust them while they're saying, now, from for geopolitical reasons, you need to hate this country and that country. It's not something that will work anymore. We're all a part of, we can create our own media. I'm always giving you, links and stuff for YouTube channels and people who are creating their own content and showing you reality, which is important, because I want you to see the truth, and I want you to share your truth, and we can do great things when we are also not being forced to only follow what the governments are saying. Yes, it is absolutely great that our governments are working together, but at the same time, it is super, like, it is very important for us to communicate. That is it. Now, if anyone has something he wants to say, feel free, ask in the comments, join the box. I'm gonna drink water because some people are nice enough to remind me. Thank you for that. Okay, let's just see the comments. Um, okay. Will Saudi people will comfortable with Jewish people and religion problems? With all, by the end of the day, when you need to eat food and drink water, with all due respect to gods in plural, religions in plural, people, different type of people, different ethnicity, but the end of the day, we all need to eat and drink and breathe air. Those are things that we're right now have a major problem with. And at the end of the day, we all need to realize that if you want to continue working and following your gods, and if you want to continue practicing your religion and have your ethnic group around you, you need to work together with other people to make sure we're all gonna have food, water, air. So I assume the Saudi people, first of all, let me be perfectly clear. The state of Israel always telling that everyone is welcome here. We don't discriminate. We don't hate people. We're trying to keep everyone, um, you know, we're happy and friendly to every person as long as they're respectful. And I really hope the Saudi people will finally realize that we're actually coming in peace. We're actually trying to do great things together. And with all the respect to our differences, which is something really important, because it's amazing the fact we're also, like, I'm learning so much about Bharat just because your a lot of people from Bharat have such a different way of life from me, but I absolutely love to learn about that and to educate myself and to teach you guys about my culture and my stuff. So I really hope the Saudi people will realize this is important, and we will able to have an open discussions and great things about them. Let's see what else. Again, wow, those guys are really blowing up. I absolutely love it. Okay, I said it several times. Go follow Coco Boy and Coco Girl. Amazing people, love their channel. I'm not going to react because they are YouTubers. I don't want to take a YouTuber content and add it to my channel without their permission. And at the same time, they're doing amazing things. Go watch the original content, the original video in the original channel. Support them. They're awesome. Like I said, I'm always telling you guys this, but I will not react or do things to their videos because because it's their channel and they should get all the credit. And at the same time, the whole point of me reacting to things is to teach you guys while I am talking, while I am reacting on things. At the same time, I am also teaching you about my culture and about my life and about Israel, which is the whole point of this channel. I never hide it. I always openly said it. So yeah, go watch them. Please go watch them. I absolutely love their videos, but I will not make a reaction because I want them to get all the credit they clearly deserved. Okay, let's see. If anyone wants to join this stream, all you need to do is wave to the camera and I'll add you because some people are writing in the box and not just like joining. Let's see. How can you guys stay so calm and positive after knowing that the world has done to the Jewish community? First of all, what world? There's a lot of different places in the world. For example, in Bharat, not a lot of Jewish people suffered from anti-Semitism. And yes, we've been forced to leave our country, our land of Israel, and we had to be in other places where we suffered a lot from anti-Semitism and stuff. And then we got the chance to go back home and to rebuild Israel. But at the same time, if we are only looking at people and saying they did bad things to us in the past, those people who hurt us in the past, most of them are not alive now. And the fact that you cannot hold a grudge all the time. You need to remember what they did to you, because with all due respect, you have to remember the bad things, but um, you cannot punish other people for people who are not like what other people have hurt you. Because if someone hurt you, you cannot go and hurt other people, even if they have the same ethnicity, same religion. It doesn't, like, at the end of the day, you have to remember to be very careful, but you still need to remember that you can create great things together. For example, 50 years ago or even 20 years ago, do you think this group we just saw, those group of people will actually get together? Absolutely not. I can tell you right now. It took us such a long time until the government of Baharat acknowledged the country of Israel. So, and in the Emirates, it's a whole other story. So we just like, it will take us. And I still believe we have a long way to go. So, but at the same time, we see like a huge progress, which is amazing. Yeah. Let's see. I see people opening the cameras. Sutap, do you want to join? Have like wave to the camera if you are. Great. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hi.
How are you,
Okay,
buddy?
I'm going. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So, what are your thoughts and feelings about this leaders summit?
I just joined 5 minutes ago, and I don't have any idea about what they were speaking to or regarding what. But
It's
I
in the
feel
title. We're talking
sorry, I
about the
can't.
group of leaders who met.
I know that
And
they are met UAE, India, US, and
yeah,
Israel, but I have a different view. Uh, I feel that geopolitical relations are not permanent, and they are going to change, and realignments are going to take place over time, surely. But I feel from a civilization point of view, people to people contacts must develop. That's what we need to do. Okay. So after all, whatever the governments we have, the political systems that we have are a representation of the people's choices. So that must be expressed more and more. Today, India has been able to strengthen its relations with Israel just because a certain political party has gone out of power and one more political party has come into power. And the people supporting the majority of the people supporting that political party is actually in favor of Israel. Okay, okay. So I hope you understand uh, uh, the previous government that was in power, the party, it depended a lot on the votes of the peaceful community. And in order to get the votes of the peaceful community, it was not so much willing to go and develop relations with Israel. Okay.
But this is what I always said. This is like the point of the channel. This is why like, I agree with you on the point that, with all due respect to the government, with all due respect to geopolitical things, the fact that civilians can communicate with each other is making such a big difference in the entire geopolitical field, because governments cannot make us hate each other based on propaganda and things, because we're able to walk to each other. You are able to reach to me and to talk to me about some things and hear my opinion and the opinion of the civilians without getting your information from the news, from, a big media and stuff that are trying to change your point of view, when, trying to get you to hate or like things based on what will be more profit, like how they will get more money and stuff. We are able to communicate together. This is what I'm always saying: the relationship between your country, I'm assuming you're from Baharat, your country and my country, we started because we never well, we did, but we didn't have a big anti-Semitism problems in your country. The Jews of Kerala is
Right.
always talking fondly about, about your country. And this is something that started before. Israeli people came to Bharat before your country acknowledged my country. But still, the
Right.
civilians, the people, that was the ties that connect us. Not some people in suits, not some people who are high in the governments and people who said, vote for me, I'm a good politician. Like, not all the
Let me
diplomatic
give you,
things. Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
2 points here. Okay. First is I know that Israel, in order to survive under the hostile conditions that it has been existing since the time of its birth as a political nation in the modern world, it
We're
has
talking
got the
about
support.
modern day Israel, right?
The
Because
modern day
remember,
Israel
we
that
used to be
was
a
born in
kingdom.
1940s, 1949. Sorry, I do not remember the date
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
Israel.
exactly. You guys are 1 year older than us, but yeah, we're talking about the
48. Okay.
rebuilding of Israel, because we used to be a kingdom. Like,
Israel as a modern nation state post World War II. Okay.
yeah,
The, the present political state. For it to exist under the hostile situations and that it has been able to sail through, it needed the support of the Western world led by the United States of America. I do not know how much you were aware of. Am I audible properly?
you're audible. Yeah.
Okay. So I do not know how much you were aware of how many of the nature and the type of wars that were fought with India and Pakistan and China after India got independence. I just tell you in 1 minute brief. In 1971, we had a war with Pakistan that resulted in the formation of the independent state of Bangladesh, as you know. And as
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
I heard
see,
we had a little bit help there, but yeah, go ahead.
okay, so in that war, India was wanting to provide independence to the Bengali people, okay, who wanted independence from the Pakistani people. The United States, which had been advocating for human rights and democracy and everything, had been assisting and supporting a totalitarian regime in Pakistan. What I
Hmm.
aim to say, and the USSR, which was a communist regime, was in fact backing a democratic state like India, okay, which wanted to establish or aid the democratic ambitions of the Bangladeshi people or the Bengali people, so to say. Now, my point is that the United States is a state or a nation that is built by people who migrated from different parts of the world, predominantly from Britain. And and
And some
they
natives,
are
we need to remember those people are still there and still some of them still are alive,
who
even after those immigrants came in, the
the
native,
red Indians, the natives.
the
Okay, they are
natives
like
of
you. We
the
do
land.
not see. You see, the Jewish people were scattered. They had a homeland of their own, but they were scattered all over Europe. But when they came back to their land, they started speaking again, communicating, adopting one language that is Hebrew, which was one of their original languages here. Okay,
Hold on,
Hebrew.
what are you talking about? Say it again.
The Jewish people were spread all across Europe, right? Now they
Not all
had,
across Europe, all across the world. There were ships that shipped us as
sorry,
slaves
sir,
in different part of
I
the world.
admit it,
Okay.
but predominantly because the Holocaust and all the pogroms mainly occurred, majority what is reported as far as I read in India occurred in Europe. So yeah, I know that they were spread across the Middle East and across everywhere else, even in Africa. Uh, they came back, but there is some unifying culture within them. Okay, so the Jewish people have a common Jewish heritage, even if they are different. They are coming from various ethnicities. So to say because they were
It's the
spread
same
for
ethnicity. We had the same
same
ethnicity. The fact
ethnicity,
that we
but
had
still,
to
a Nigerian Jew differs from a
We
Russian
don't
Jew,
have
right?
Nigerian Jew. We have Jewish people who came from. They're not Jewish. We're talking about the 12 tribes of Jacob.
Yes, right.
Now, Judah is one of the tribes who was ruling the other tribes. This is why we're all called Jewish. But at the same time, if you meet a person that his family name is Cohen or Levi, he's not Jewish. He's not from the Jewish tribe. He's part of the tribe of Levi. Now, we believe that like the tribe of Dan, was the tribe that decided that was immigrating to Africa,
Okay,
who has to go to Africa. Thank you for people who remind me to drink water and vodka, but this is just plain water. Go ahead.
uh, I think I'm digressing a bit, but let me tell one thing. Have you heard the name of Rabindranath Tagore?
Remind me.
Rabindranath Tagore was the first Asian Nobel laureate. He was from India. He
Oh
wrote
yeah, yeah.
the national anthem of India and also
Hmm.
Bangladesh. There's a novel of his, which is called Rajarshi, or Rajarshi, which is a king, a Raja, who lives like a hermit. Okay, so he lives a very plain life. So this is the title. In that novel, there is this mention of a Kuki clan in the northeast of India. Now, recently I heard that the Kukis are migrating to Israel because they believe that they are one of the lost tribes of Judea, of Israel. Okay, so they look completely like the Mongoloid race, and not only Kukis,
Okay,
there are a number of
let's just talk
bunches.
about something very, very important. I know that
Okay,
people are saying, "Oh, they don't look like." Um, it's gonna be a little bit problematic if you have kids cover their ears and stuff. We were being forced to leave our country, and we've been sold as slaves. We've been fighting a lot of things. Our
right.
people got raped a lot, and this is why it some of us look different and not a part of. Now remember, we are a big part. It's just like I'm going also to say India is a big place. Why not all
Right,
Indians look alike? I don't
right,
agree
right.
with like, oh, they look different. It doesn't matter.
See,
This
it
is
does
not
not
the
matter to
point.
me
No
because it's
one
a matter
is
of Israel's
deciding to
internal.
be part.
Okay,
No, no, but no one is like choosing to be. With all the respect, people always think, "Oh, Jewish, like Israeli, is so succeeding and stuff." And then when people came here, they realized, with all the respect, we live with terror. We live under like a lot of rockets and missiles and war all the time. People hate us. Most of the people, if you look on the comments and stuff, a lot of people hate Israel and hate Jewish people without any reason other than to spread hate. No one is actually choosing to be. No one is deciding, you know what, I'm gonna say I am Jewish and I will, from now on, I will receive hate. I will receive people who will trying to hurt me, people who try to kill me. I want that. Not No one with right mind will do that.
okay. So what we were originally discussing was international relations at present. So as I said, that the United States is not concerned about democracy, upholding human rights, and all of that stuff. All that the United States is concerned about is own interests. It requires Israel. The moment its interest in the Middle East is finished, it is not concerned about where Israel goes. Maybe it may continue till the Jewish lobby in the US political domain they can control a bit in its favor. After that, you cannot trust the United States. So you need new emerging economies and new emerging partners. Okay, and I believe a civilizational country like India, Japan, China, they can be of much more importance to you. So I'm just a simple guy living in India, but I think the
No, no, no.
Israeli diplomats
Don't
and
talk
the
bad
leadership
about
is.
yourself. You are a person living in a different country who is able to communicate with people outside your country without your governments interfering. You
But I
you
don't call
have
the
a lot
shots.
of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right now, we're talking, we're creating something. People listening, people will listen to this, write a comment, it will affect them. By the end of the day, the civilians create so much bigger things can create we have so much power. We don't need to play the diplomatic game that the politicians need to do. Like I said, the relationship between you and my country, your and my, I'm sorry, English is not my first language, so it's bad.
You can
Um,
neither
our
mind.
relationship was based on the civilians, and our governments realized it will benefit them, and then they followed us. So, with all due respect to governments, we as people have so much more power than the government. We can create things so much more than the government. With all due respect to the people in suits that are always on the media and stuff.
It must be inside the mind of every Israeli and every Bharatiya that if India wants to exist as a civilization and if the Jewish people want to exist as a and continue as a civilization, they need to be for each other. Okay. So on
Just
all
like any
matters,
person in the entire world, just like work together with other people, play with other people, be nice to other
um,
people.
I think you are being too nice because
No,
if
trust
the
me, sweetheart. I lived through terror attacks. I lived through a lot of people. I'm getting a lot of death threats all the time. I am not naive, but at the same time, I will not sit and be slacktivist. I came from I was a part of an old channel who was working, about the Israel and Indian relationship, but I decided to speak up and show my voice and my opinions and stuff, and don't play, like you said, the naive character who's just like always smiling and happy and saying, "Oh, great, everything is awesome." No, this is not me. This is why I
okay,
decided to create this channel. And like you said, it looks like we're small people, just like no one will listen to us. But hey, I don't know. I have no idea why people subscribe to my channel. But at the same time, people not only subscribe, but they're also watching the videos, commenting. We're able to have a conversation. I have such an amazing friends, people who just send me, comment, and we started to have a conversation about this. Like, we can create things so much bigger, and we can do great things. If you have an opinion, if you have something you want to say, open a YouTube channel. Look, it actually worked for me. I have no idea why. But you can create things. We don't need to sit and wait for our governments to do stuff. With all the respect
let
to the
me
governments.
let me ask you one thing. Was what may be the solution for this? Because okay, so there is a city called Calcutta which happened to be
Yeah,
India's
yeah.
capital before. It's now called Kolkata. There are two beautiful synagogues here.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
spelling
I'm
the words
planning to
right.
go and see them by
Okay,
myself because it looks
if
amazing.
you do come to okay, if I talk with you a number of times, do tell me if you come because I'm very worried about what will happen to those synagogues after because the Jewish community I think is in 50, 30, 40, or 50 people at max, and they are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. Okay, so how will the
Uh,
maintenance continue? Maybe
First of
the
all,
Israeli government pays for that, maybe, but I
I
want
had
Indian people to participate in the maintenance of
yeah,
that.
you can. I had several videos about this actually, about the Jewish people of Calcutta, about the synagogues and stuff. And what I said in those videos, first of all, you can go and watch the videos, and I will just like tell you in like headlines. But if you want to hear the whole story, go watch the previous videos. Bottom line, the whole point of a synagogue is a place where we pray, to go back home and to rebuild our land and our temple. a synagogue is like a small temple where you pray to join the bigger temple, that the place that right now the Al Aqsa Mosque is on, in Israel. So it is, with all the respect to synagogues who are getting less and less people because most of the people are coming back home, I don't see this as a problem. I wish all the synagogues in all of the world, other than my land, will be empty, because the whole point of those synagogues is to be a place where you pray if you cannot go back home and pray in your home, and to pray and worship at your temple. With all the respect, and I know at those the synagogues looks beautiful. I really want to go and like see, because they have a lot of history, which is something we need to, to keep and preserve. If you saw my videos, I really love archaeology and stuff. But with all due respect, the whole point of those synagogues is to fulfill, like, to be a weird solution to a problem. And if the problem is solved, if we're able to go back home and to pray in our home and to worship our, our land and our God here, there is no, like, it's not a problem, at least for me, from the way I see it.
From your point, but from the Indian viewpoint, who want Israelis to be very good friends with us, it feels very bad. I go past those two synagogues almost every day. I'm from
Mm.
nearby from Calcutta, and I look at them and I feel, okay, they're gonna be empty. Where are these people? Because a building, when there's no people, there's no energy. It feels very bad.
But
It
this is
really
the
feels
thing.
very bad.
The whole point, what do you know what we're doing in those buildings? When we pray
Okay.
in those buildings. We read the Torah and we pray, and we read the fact that we God has told us to go to the land and work the land and a specific place. In all of those synagogues, we just pray, how we just pray to be able to do something, and right now we are able to actually do it. I know it
So
looks
if
sad, but
these
think about
synagogues
it.
are empty and it does not matter to you, why do not the Israeli people? I mean, I'm saying like that, but why not convert it into some sort of exhibition sort and all? Whenever these special days of Israel, let's begin some celebrations here for inter
If you want, you
community.
can talk to the, the Bet Chabad, the people who are the Jewish people, the Jewish community in your place. If you want to get a little bit, create things and learn more about our culture, you are more than welcome. Yes, it is important. Those synagogues are important because they are part of the history, and I assume they have a lot of history between those walls.
They are
But
not
at the
only
same
part of
time,
your history; they are part of our history also.
everyone's history. Yeah, we're all
Okay.
part of the same universe. So yeah, your Vedas are also part of my history, because at some point, the people who read and wrote the Vedas communicated with people who came to, traveled and came to Israel, and we were able to communicate. Like I'm always saying, this symbol is also a big symbol in your community. We're all connected in some way or another. We're all connected. This is why it is so important. You know that your country is actually mentioned in our Bible. Like, do you see how, like, how much we're having so many things that are tying us together? But at the same time,
Okay.
we need to remember that we should celebrate each other. It's going to sound a little bit hippie. All need to know exactly who we are, so we can celebrate, each other and other people life and culture and stuff. So yes, it is super important, and I wish you guys can learn more about my history and my life, and this is why I created this channel. And for me to be able to learn and celebrate with you your holidays, and to learn more about your and culture and your life and everything. This is the point of this channel. And this is why I'm saying, with all the respect for, I know it's sad when you see an empty place that used to be full and historical and stuff, but at the same time, it got to a point when the people there were able to actually do what they practiced. They always practiced what they will do when they kind of come back home. So with all the
Okay,
respect
so
for,
let me tell you one thing. There was a fantastic idea by the Danish government. What happened is that there's a place called Sarampur, which is around 20 kilometers north of Calcutta. Okay,
Okay.
that used to be one of the earliest means European colonizers set foot on that place. It's on the banks of the river Ganga,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a small Danish colony. Okay, just north of that we had the French colony, then the Portuguese colony, then the Dutch
Yeah,
colony, and
we're
all of that.
familiar with colonies and stuff.
Okay, now this Danish colony was sold to the English after around 100 years. Okay, and the second college in India was established here in this place. Now this place, even though it was sold to the British, some of the Danish structures remained here. Okay, now they were under not under maintenance, and the situation was very bad. Around 7 to 8 years ago, the Danish government took interest in that, and they renovated it, and they named it the Danish Tavern, and they converted it into some sort of restaurant and a inn, and okay, and the place is booming with all sorts of people now. And what happens is that they are providing even some of those Danish dishes. Okay, so some sort of that sort of strategy could be applied in this case. You can so you know is some sort of community center or restaurant can be started where Israeli dishes can be. So maybe something like that can be
Yeah,
done.
it sounds like a good idea. Honestly, it sounds like a really good idea. I think I like
Okay.
that idea. The fact that you guys can, I hope most of you guys will also stop just like
One thing I
watching
noted
things on
actually,
TV, but
what?
see things.
Because there's a French colony and it's called Chandanakot, and the
Okay.
French takes very keen interest in maintaining their heritage. So whenever I go there, I find a few people from the French consulate coming and going and visiting there. So always people from the French government going and seeing that their whole heritage is maintained or not. So the French people are very much I think the Israel's budget is low uh, in these
Listen, first
factors
of all,
right
we're
now.
not a lot of people. We're not like you. We're not a billion people, and we're not like
But
the
you
French. The
people
French
are
also a
also
lot of people. But however, you see a lot of Israelis. I'm assuming if you're from Cali, you see a lot of Israelis in the street because it's one of our things to actually come and visit your country. But yeah, I like the idea of what you're saying. If it's interesting to you, you can create it. If it's not, like, we can reach out to people who are there. Honestly, I think there are a lot of things for Israelis people. Um, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who are coming from Baha to study in Israel and stuff. There's also a lot of things like this going on. So I think our countries, if we're talking about private organizations, are working together in a lot of different places and a lot of different fields. We just
okay.
need to like find them all and maybe make a list of all of them so everyone can just join and see.
Thank you. I took a lot of your time. Maybe other
No,
viewers
it's
are
all
taking.
good. Thank you for joining.
Okay. Do you remember the meaning of my name I said to you last time? I think
I
you
know.
have forgotten.
Listen. I'm doing this for almost an hour and a half. I'm super tired right now. What I'm like appreciating with all of this, like, I love when people have a lot of books in the
Right.
background. Not it just like, oh, it looks smart. It looked like I love when people have a lot of
Okay.
books.
The
It's
back
just
one.
like it's
Okay. Okay.
really, yeah. My
Okay.
my library is over there, so I cannot show you, and it's also small because I'm not at my actual house. But yeah, but I really appreciate you coming and joining, hopping in the box and have a conversation,
Thank you.
and watch the I2U2. It's important.
Okay. I will watch it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Take
Okay.
care. Bye
Okay.
bye. Okay, so it took us a little bit of difficulties because I'm a little bit of technophobic, but at the end we saw the beginning of the I2U2, and I hope we're gonna hear good things about it. Pray, everyone need to pray because governments are just. I really hope they're gonna be able to have an actual conversation and not just talk about whatever and then do absolutely nothing. If it was just like for the media, I will be very upset. So thank you everyone who joined, and I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.